everyone. We have a lovely audience here at Berkeley Bicycle Club. I chatted with most of you before the show. Lovely people. We even have somebody all the way from India visiting Toronto for the first time. So welcome everyone. And welcome, yay!
Welcome.
Let's welcome him. Very special. Welcome everyone to Rogers, our Rogers viewers at home and everyone else anywhere in the world. What do we got for you tonight? We got our reporters. Boyd Kodak is going to have artist Syrus Marcus Ware, and Addie Johnson is going to have fresh off her win of Ms. Opulence 2018, Lady G. So yay!
Yeah!
Great guests. Thank you.
Wow.
My guest tonight, I was going to talk a little bit about sexual identity and gender, but I thought, you know what, we've got a lot to talk with our guests, so I'm going to just jump into that, and we get to know people better by sharing our stories. So I don't want to mess this up, so I'm going to have to read this. My guest is Chanty Marostica, who has been featured on Just for Laughs, JFL 42, Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Network, CBC's Laugh Out Loud, and many festivals nationwide. They are the creator and producer of Canada's touring LGBTQ comedy showcase, Queer and Present Danger, among many other special comedy nights and gigs. Too many to be mentioned, so check them out online. You'll get to know them better. Some of the recognition they have received, and it's a lot, includes being nominated for Best Stand-Up Comic at the 2015 Winnipeg Comedy Festival, and being named the recipient of the Canadian Comedy Award for Best Breakout Artist of 2018. They've opened for some amazingly talented comedians, including Judy Gold, Wendy Liebman, Tom Green, and Russell Peters. That's pretty impressive. We had Chanty on the show about a couple of years ago as part of a comedy special. They did a killer 3-minute set for the audience. So I thought I'd invite them to be on the show again so we can talk a little bit more in depth. They're lovely, they're kind, they're generous in spirit, along with being a hoot. And they are the newly named Sirius XM Top Comic of 2018. Yes, we bring you only the best of the best on this show. Please help me welcome Chanty Marostica, everyone. Woo! Yeah!
God, thank you so much. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me back.
Well, you know what? You were a fantastic guest last time, so I wanted to talk to you some more. Recently, you released your first comedy album.
I did, the Chanty Show.
The Chanty Show, and a couple of weeks ago it was #1 on iTunes.
Yeah, it went right to #1 in like 24 hours. It was great.
So tell me about the whole experience. What can you share with us?
I recorded it in like March, and I had an agent, and I had to cut ties with him because he wasn't helping me drop the album. So I really had to just learn how to drop an album myself, which was very...
Wow.
I still don't know how I did it. I was just like
quite an
throwing floppy disks at everything, rollerblading around the city, trying to figure it out. But I got it out, and I did it well, and I had Trina went tour do the cover with me, and it was just amazing. The whole experience from recording it to getting it edited, it was a lot, but it was so worth it to see.
Did it taught you a lot?
Yeah, it taught me so much. Like I want to be able to when the queer comics that I mentor want to drop their albums,
Nice.
I know so much now that I can help them.
Beautiful.
Yeah, for sure.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Of course. What else are you working on these days and future projects other than that big list that I mentioned in my open?
Well, I'll be going to Sydney, Australia at the end of November to do a taping at the Sydney Opera House for Just for Laughs Sydney.
Nice.
And I'll also be going to JFL Northwest in Vancouver to do my own show, do another hour at JFL 42, the Toronto-based Just for Laughs Festival again. And I'll be doing a taping at Just for Laughs Montreal in July, and I have my bi-monthly shows, the Up-and-Comers, where I showcase 10 breakout queer comics. It's at the Rivoli every 2 months, and one of our audience members is one of my Up-and-Comers. He's Deepak Kashyap, he's an amazing comic. Yeah.
Oh, and, you're a comic.
He is. He's very funny too. Yeah, he's one of my gabies, is what I call him. And I have about 70 of them now because we've had so many of the Up-and-Comer showcases. Awesome. And then Next week on my birthday, I'm doing a trans rights or human rights show to just scream out loud to the universe that we really do exist. Because Trump's apparently trying to erase us, but that's impossible.
You are doing a lot. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And proud of you.
Thank you.
Right. So we are going to take a little break because we're going to come back to a very heavy question segment. So let's take a little break and we'll be right back. So don't go anywhere.
I am here with the beautiful and talented Miss Opulence 2018-19 Lady G. Congratulations on your new crown.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
You are the first trans woman to be crowned at Miss Opulence. This is the 4th year, and you just received the crown as the first trans queen. How do you feel about that?
I never thought about me being the first trans queen until after I won the crown, and someone pointed it out to me. Lady G, do you realize that you were the first trans queen? I was like, oh, okay, I'm the first trans queen. I feel amazing to be the first one and to be that girl who could be the voice for us trans women here in the community.
You went through the journey of Opulence, like it's a 4-month of interviews and rehearsals and all that preparation, and then finally it came down to the night, and then you walk away with the crown. How was that? Like, how was an experience for you?
Preparation for any pageant or competition for me, it takes some time. I consider myself to be a perfectionist, and with that being said, I've been preparing for this pageant for the past 6 months. I've been doing my homework, educating myself about the magnitude and the background of what opulence stands for and what is required of the queen. And I tried my best to execute it to the fullest. What has it been like for me? Oh my God, it was really tiresome. At first, the adrenaline was really nice. I enjoyed that when everything was on the drawing board, sketching the gown and the costume and the swimsuit. But nearing the end, the photo shoots and the meetings and the rehearsals, I wasn't, if I'm being honest, I wasn't too, I wasn't enjoying that too much because I was really tired and trying to keep my concentration focused on the craft and the work, because I make almost all my outfits and my attire, whatever you see me in, if I can't buy it, I make it, yeah. Okay. And if I can't make it, I buy it.
So what would you tell someone that wants to go out and enter Miss Opulence? Like, what advice do you have for them coming into the system next year when you're giving over your crown?
It all depends on why you're doing it, but do your homework. So if you go into it with the mindset, I'm gonna have fun with this no matter what the outcome is, I think you'll be okay. You have to have that mindset to be committed, because it is a contract that you're going into. And you have to be committed to that contract. You have to be committed to the pageant, to your crafts. If not, you're not gonna be successful. That's all I can advise someone who's aspiring to enter the pageant, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for that. And thank you for being with us here on the couch.
My pleasure.
So we are back with Chanty Marostica. Let's talk about the start of your career. When did you become funny?
Oh, oof, I flew out of the womb. It was very,
You were
there's banana peels everywhere, and they're like, where'd these come from? I actually came out of the womb peeing, though, which I think is really, really comical. Was great for my mom.
Serious?
Yeah, I was a cesarean section, so I was like,
Pee everywhere.
I'm a part of you. I'm a part of you forever. I think that when I was like 4 or 5 is when I just
Really?
when I really fell into being a funny, goofy kid. Because I always didn't, I was very shy growing up.
Were you the school clown? Or?
Oh yeah,
Yeah?
always the class clown. But I never went to the principal's office because I was really good at it.
Yeah, avoid
When
it.
I started being like a goofy kid when I was like 4 or 5 years old. Just always, I hated seeing other people sad, so I'd always do whatever I could to make people laugh. Yeah, and then you know, getting bullied or dealing with depression or anything that we deal with like in our community, just kind of my defense mechanism was to be funny. And it was always my deflection of showing emotion was to always just make people laugh. So, and it worked and made me super funny. It's like, I got bullied so much, now I'm amazing at comedy.
Hilarious now.
Thanks, bullies. Yeah, I guess my childhood really shaped that.
Positive way to look at that. Yeah.
It was the only way that I knew how to, so I just turned it around, turned the sad into happy.
You recently released a photo series. Can we have it up on the screen, please?
Be right here in post.
Tell us a little bit about what inspired it. What were you trying to say with it?
Yeah, I had my album cover shoot with my dear friend Trana Wintour. I did a recreation of Katie Lang and Cindy Crawford's famous Vanity Fair cover where she's shaving Katie. And I always wanted that to be my album cover. And then
Why? What are you trying to say with it?
I loved Katie Lang growing up, and I was always like that was one of like my celebrity lookalike that I would get mistaken as. And I was like, okay, like I'm not like a 6-year-old woman, but that's fine. And I thought that with getting Trana Wintour, she's another trans comic out of Montreal, just that having like 2 women, one shaving the other, and then having 2 trans people. It was just, I just think it's a beautiful image, and it's a beautiful image to recreate for the LGBTQ community. And like our community gets that at a glance, but then other people are like, what does that picture mean? Why are you getting shaved? And it's like, it doesn't matter.
Right away, I thought, wow, good for you.
Yeah,
Awesome.
no, it was just, Trana's a very good friend of mine, so when we were doing the part, you know, the one where she's like right on top and they're face to face, like Cindy Crawford and Katie Lang make that look so smoky and sexy, right? And Trana was in front of me and I was like, I'm not the sexiest person, so it was a little, we were both like, both sweating with the picture lights on us, but it turned out really great. The album cover, my partner designed the rest of it, and it was amazing.
Very nice. Well, that all leads to, you had a big last couple of years finding your true, authentic self, I would say. Maybe.
Yeah.
All right. What can you share with our audience about your journey?
I guess in the last 2 or 3 years is when I came out as non-binary and then had a real conversation with myself that I am a guy. And then I've been exploring that and exploring it through my comedy. So, and I just moved to Toronto about 4 years ago, so my career has been building up. But yeah. So my career has been building up since I moved from Winnipeg. Don't go there.
Okay. We'll be talking about your
It's terrible. So my career's just been building, but also like discovering more about my gender identity has been a huge part of that. Exploring that through my comedy and exploring it not only on stage but in my personal life, like discovering you're a guy, kind of like, I'm like, save it for the stage. Like I have to write about it or else I'm not like addressing it.
I saw in your post, your mom was liking everybody's comments. I commented and she's like liking it. I was like, oh, go mom.
I feel like she's not sleeping. She's just like, I want to show.
On Facebook.
I just came out as a trans dude to my mom just about a month ago now, and she was very supportive. And I think she feels like she's always saying the wrong thing, because it is hard to be an ally right now to trans people and to like get pronouns right. I use they, them pronouns. She feels like she's always messing up. So I feel like she's like on Facebook like all day, like minority reporting, liking everybody's statuses so she can show me love in another way. Yeah. Because
awesome.
she'll fudge up on pronouns and I'm like, I know you love me. That like messing up a pronoun doesn't mean that you haven't been my mother for 34 years.
And
yeah,
in general,
I'm 34.
how was
18.
How was the reception in general?
It was great. My mom was like,
other than family.
Everybody's been great about it.
Yeah.
I've only had positive reactions to coming out as a dude.
Yeah.
Like, except for me, I'm like, ugh, man. Just joking. The comedy world really shocked me because like there's a lot of toxic masculinity in comedy, and it's a boys' club, but like they've been very welcoming and very understanding, and my queer comedy community has been nothing but supportive. I wouldn't be able to transition in such a positive way if I didn't have them.
All right, we can switch to the topic. What is so amazing about being a comic, and what is so challenging about being a comic?
I get to make people laugh every single day, and that was always my dream growing up, was to be a comic and to do this and to kind of be like Robin Williams, just kind of be an entertainer. I get to do that, which is being able to be paid for your dream is really rewarding, as you probably know. And then the challenges, and I love it. I love it. The challenges, it's if you're a marginalized person in comedy, it's just rough because it's you feel like you're always kind of being gaslit that there's not a problem with your voice not being heard. So it's just being able to yell louder than haters or yell louder than the people that are telling you that your story or your spot in comedy isn't important or it's not or you're not funny. Like people like the women aren't funny or queer people aren't funny. It's a argument somehow, which is not an argument at all. It's I guess the biggest challenge is just being able to do it for yourself and know that you're doing it for your community and for yourself.
I have a very, very short little time to ask this. When you're performing to a mainstream audience, do you feel that you have to do more education than performing?
No, it's a mix of both because I get to, people have said that when you watch my set, it's like, I would bring my mom to your set because you explain transis in a really positive light and you're not shoving it down people's throats in a way that's like, that it's like, you better know this or something. Like it's, I don't feel like I feel like it's an equal balance of both when I am. I love it. Yeah, it's hard to write jokes so that the queer community is happy and also straight people aren't like, but what? But I am finding an equal balance as I'm writing it. Luckily, I'm transitioning 14 years into my stand-up comedy career.
So you must be doing something right. All right, can we take a little break then? And we're going to visit with Boyd and their guest, and we will be right back.
Hi, Boyd Kodak here. Tonight I'm delighted to have with me Syrus Marcus Ware. Welcome, Cyrus.
Thank you for having me.
Cyrus is a scholar, artist, educator, and activist. 2017, Cyrus was the artist in residence at Daniel Spectrum, and he is currently facilitator for Cultural Leader Labs, Toronto Arts Council, and Banff Center. Cyrus, tell us a little bit about your work and your medium.
I'm a visual artist primarily, and as an artist, I make large-scale portraits of activists, very, very large scale, 12 feet, 10 feet tall. I also do performance art, and I do installation work as well. And so my visual art practice keeps me really busy. I'm also doing a PhD at York University, looking specifically at disability justice and Black and racialized artists. I'm an activist as well with Blackness Yes, and we put on Blockorama, which is a big Black queer festival that happens at Pride every year. We just had our 20th anniversary, and I'm a member of Black Lives Matter Toronto, so I'm involved in direct action in the movement for Black lives.
Excellent. And your biggest accomplishment to date?
This one, Amelie, absolutely, who just turned 7 and is into clapping.
Excellent. Okay, tell us a little bit about your last year's work.
I curate a show every year at the Gladstone that's called That's So Gay, and so this last year was themed around the concept Say My Name, and I had 15 artists coming together to make work about marginalized LGBTQ voices, and it was a beautiful exhibition, and that was up for most of the summer. And then I just launched my own solo show at Grunt Gallery. It's curated by Vanessa Kwan, and it's in Vancouver, and it's up until the end of December, and it features a whole bunch of portraits of activists who are Black and engaged with British Columbia in some way, and also some speculative fiction text.
Future plans?
I think the next thing that I have coming up is I'm going to be performing as part of Cripping the Stage, which is a disability arts celebration that happens at Harbourfront, and so that'll be in January 2019. It's also part of the Cripping the Arts Symposium, which I'll be speaking at on the academic side.
And a message, any kind of message you'd like to put out there?
Well, I think these are very dangerous times and very toxic times, and we've seen a lot of danger and violence happen towards Black trans women in particular, but towards Black people and trans people. And I hope that people who are out there who are watching are involved in the movement for Black lives and involved for fighting for the self-determination of all trans people, of all queer people, that we all should get to have the right to live and be free. And so my message would be that if you're not involved in the fight yet, get involved. One, it's really fun, and two, we really need you out there on the front lines.
Thank you, Cyrus, for your time, and you too, Emily, and we'll be right back.
All right, we are back, everyone. Hey.
Hey, oh my God, we didn't leave.
So tell me a little bit about your childhood. You said you were born in Winnipeg?
Yeah, I was born in Winnipeg,
Why?
Manitoba. I know.
We love our Winnipeg people.
I don't know. I was born in
Don't get
Winnipeg.
me in
My
trouble.
parents and my family are all from Thunder Bay, so like, and I have an older brother, Adam. He's was just named the best barista in Toronto by Now Toronto. Yeah, yeah, he's very good. And Marostica is winning all the awards this year. I had a great childhood. My parents, Tom and Marilyn, are very, very good, wonderful people, and they're really starting to get into like supporting the queer community.
They're gonna be like P-flag parents?
Yeah, they volunteer every year at Pride now in Winnipeg, and the beer tent, and everybody comes up to them and takes pictures with them, and they're like, I don't know who you are. Thank you. Here's a
Well, I
beer.
love
It's
you.
great.
When you were growing up, who made you laugh back then?
I always loved Gilda Radner and Robin Williams. Those were my two favorite people in the world. Me and my dad used to watch SNL and
Mork and Mindy?
I never watched that. I
No?
know I'm a
You
little. That's
have
a little bit older than me,
yeah.
but that
my
I
favorite
I
show.
might have watched it when I was younger with my dad. I just loved Gilda Radner and Robin Williams. They were just like lightning as people. I always wanted to be that kind of entertainer that like just really entertained
Very
people as a
talented.
whole. Yeah.
Lots of heart. Yeah. We have challenges as LGBTQ people. What do you feel you'd say on that? I know everybody has a different story, and we can only speak for ourselves because we have stuff in common, but we have things that make us different. So you.
I think it's my biggest thing was that we don't get to be proud of ourselves. Our history is erased, and a lot of things that are important, like the AIDS crisis, just being there for each other and knowing about transness so that we can be there for each other as every single letter of the rainbow. It divides us. Like everybody wants us to be divided, but when we are community, we're stronger and better. And if somebody knows the journey of a trans person or a QPOC person, like it's just easier for us to be a community and to stand up for each other and for our rights as a whole if we just aren't divided.
I love you so much for saying that.
Yeah, well, it's gross. Like I didn't know
Everything that
about so much of this stuff. I had to just learn on my own because they erase it from school literature. My sex education was the one that Rob or whatever his name is trying to put into
rid
place
of.
now, and it's gross. We should not be erased from education or from anything. We don't.
Do
no.
not erase us. Yeah, sure. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Erase us. Just
Keep
reading.
our stories going.
Well, there's so many famous people that were gay, and we're just not allowed to talk about it. And it's just so shameful that they were. It's not shameful to be gay. It's fucking amazing to be gay. Oh my God, I said the F
It's all
word.
right. They'll bleep it. Thanks,
Bleep
Rogers. If you have only one wish for the world, what would that be? What would you like to see happen?
It would be for you to all own my.
Comedy album.
Oh, it was gonna be so slick, right? When I could take it out of my pocket to own my comedy album, The Shanty Show. You can download it on iTunes or stream it on Spotify. I think my actual one wish for the world would just be to educate ourselves so that we can love each other better.
Love each other. Where can people keep up with your news? Where can we find them?
At Chanty Marostica on Facebook, Instagram. The other one, Twitter. I'm just joking. I'm 90. Floppy disk. Everywhere you can get me at Chanty Marostica. And if you check out my Instagram. It's well curated.
Right. All right. We're coming up to the end of the good stuff. Now we're gonna just do those quick questions.
Let's do it.
All right. Your favorite cuisine?
Thai.
Okay. What would you cook for a romantic date?
Oh, I'm really good at making my own pho.
There you go. Your favorite season?
Fall.
My favorite season too.
So crisp.
Your favorite vacation?
I've never been on one, but let's go to Japan. Let's do
Oh,
it.
wow.
Everybody.
Let's invite everybody to go.
No, that's like so anxiety ridden. Like everything's like, nah, so fast and there's so many people. Let's go to Hawaii right now.
All right. I'm with that. I'm game. Dogs or cats?
Dogs,
Dogs.
100%.
Dog person? Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right. And your last words to the community?
My last words to the community, support each other. There's queer comedy everywhere, and there's queer poets and music, burlesque, drag. Go to things, and if you see something on Facebook, click going. Even if you're not, it just boosts the algorithm. Support each other in any way you know how, and and listen to each other's stories, and decolonize yourself and your language so that we can all be better people for each other.
And your last words to our audience here at home?
Let's go for a smoke.
Ow, don't promote smoking.
No, thank you so much. Don't smoke, it's so bad for you kids.
Yes.
But thank you to my friends
That's
for
the
coming
proper
and
message.
supporting, and to all of you for being here. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Yeah. So, there you go. We're done. We done it.
We're done.
Write us on Facebook at facebook.com I'm going to say this correctly. Join us on the couch, because apparently I've said visit us on the couch a couple of times and bad host. So you got now the right address. And you can write us there and get free tickets to be in the audience. And as we've been reminding you, it's all about love. And we love you, and you, and you, and you, and you. So thank you for being here. Come back and visit us soon. Take care.